Hey everyone, I'm Cody. I'm joined here by Todd and John, and we represent a few members of your elder team. And we just wanted to take a few minutes and get in front of you all. Whether you happen to be watching this as a part of a community group, or you're part of our public church family, or maybe you've stumbled across this video online as you've been exploring our church. We just want to take a few moments and let you all know a little bit about elders, specifically who our elders are, why we have elders, and what they do. And so we acknowledge that in the youthfulness of our church, we haven't been around for all that long, that we have not in our history done a really great job of putting our elders in front of you, or maybe inviting you into the process of what it looks like to bring in new elders, which we are in the process of doing right now. We're evaluating and walking through some discussions with some potential elder candidates. And we want to do better about bringing you into that process in the future. And so that's a part of what this is for today, just to bring you into that. And I think the first thing that we want to start with is why do we have elders? Why are we, as public church, an elder-led church? And I'll take us back to the very beginning, before we even started, when we were known as Candies Creek City Church, under the leadership of Pastor Jamie Work and Candies Creek Church. In the formation phase of that, Jamie recommended that we be a elder-led body. And honestly, we thought that that was a very wise decision. And Jamie was a very wise man, and so we felt like there was good counsel in that. And so we began that process and began praying about who those people would be from the very beginning. But not only did we think that was a wise decision, but if you look at the Bible, specifically in the New Testament, elders are a very common phrase or role that you hear in the early church. The term elder is actually mentioned 76 times in the New Testament. I know that's impressive, right? I counted them all. But the term elder is actually mentioned 76 times in the New Testament, and so it was a very present part, the very present role in the early church. You know, as the church was beginning to expand beyond Israel and beyond Jerusalem, there was a need for people to be more involved and have more of a leadership role and oversight in leading of each local body. And that's when elders came into being. Particularly, you hear about the role of an elder being mentioned in 1 Timothy chapter 3 or in Titus chapter 1 of what we're looking for in the role of an elder. And so I just hope you enjoy this time, and John's going to tell us a little bit more about who our elders are. And John's honored today to be flanked by two Bradley Bears, and we're honored to be joined by our resident Cleveland Raider. So listen to John.
Yes, and it doesn't say that in 1 Timothy or Titus that you have to be any particular affiliation with a local high school or anything like that, or even Big Ten allegiance. That's not what it discusses in there. But we have 5 current elders on our elder team. We've got 2 staff elders, that'd be Todd, right, and Cody. And then we have 3 non-staff elders as well. Besides myself, we also have Gene Chastain, does a great job leading in Roots and leads a community group as well. And then we've got Tom Bowler. A lot of you guys know Tom from his budget proposals and things like that he's on stage giving as head of our finance team, leading the community group as well. They all do a phenomenal job, and it's been a pleasure of mine to be on this team previously. You guys may even know Steve Knapp. Steve Knapp is a former elder here at Public Church and has already served kind of in his 5-year role as elder, and it's just recently in the last year rolled off. And like I said, we're looking to, here soon, look to potentially add some new elders. And as they eventually roll off after 5 years and we need more elders in, we're always looking for potential candidates for that particular role. And you might be wondering then in that, what exactly do they do? So I'm going to let Todd kind of explain kind of what the role of an elder is within Public Church specifically.
Yes, great job, guys. And first off, elders can fire me. And so if you're wondering what they do, they have that ability. But in all seriousness, it's really important that we have accountability woven into all we do. And so that's laid out really clearly how me or anyone else can be fired in the guiding document. But it's more than just firing me. I just want to take us to 1 Timothy chapter 5. If you're watching this in the community group, you're going to be talking through this passage. And if you're not, and you have questions, just email jade@publicchurch.com. We'd love to have a conversation with you about this. And so Peter's writing this, and he's an elder. So he says, I exhort the elders among you as a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, as well as a partaker in the glory that is going to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God that is among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but willingly, as God would have you, not for shameful gain, but eagerly, not domineering over those in your charge, but being examples to the flock. And then in the end of verse 5, it says, clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility toward one another, for God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Now, again, this whole passage is awesome, but just a few things about the elder role is, first off, we're shepherds. So we want to shepherd like the good shepherd. Jesus is the good shepherd. So something for you to discuss is, how did Jesus shepherd? Well, ultimately, he laid down his life for the sheep. He pursued lost sheep, and we could go on, but we want to shepherd like the good shepherd. And then as we're also looking at this, it says exercising oversight. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of times that word has some negative connotations, maybe somebody bossing you around. So again, we want to lead like Jesus. I think about Mark 10:45. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So really, if we look at Jesus, this oversight, it's not a negative thing. It's that we want to lead like him. And then not under compulsion, but willingly. And it says this, that we're not domineering, but we are examples. And so I think about something Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 11:1, where he said, follow me as I follow Jesus. And when I first read that, I thought, he is so arrogant. That's unbelievable. But as I've really dug into that, it's actually a really humble statement, because it's saying, hey, watch me. See all my flaws, see my mistakes, and then see how God forgives me, and see how I move forward as he restores me. It's really a humble statement to say, hey, I'm going to let you into my life. You watch me and then follow me as I follow Jesus. So that's the attitude that we want to have as elders. And then especially in the second half of this section that we didn't necessarily read all of, it just talks about humility. So we want to exude a posture of humility. I think about Philippians 2:3 and 4, that we count others as more significant than ourselves. We look not only to our own interests, but also to the interests of others. And what we mean by that is when you step into this elder role, it's not about us. We are for you. We are for Jesus' church. And we cannot pretend like we have all the answers, because we don't, okay? But we have to exude humility. We have to listen and learn. And that's us doing that as part of inviting you into this process of saying, hey, help us see blind spots. Like John said, recommend some people to us. Like Cody said, hey, we've not always let you in on this enough, and so this is part of our growth as we're just trying to exude humility.
Yeah, and we've been praying about it. We've been praying about who we feel like meets these qualifications that would be a good person to bring in to serve in this role on our elder team. And we hope that in the future that you'd be praying for that as well. And as you pray, and you look over those qualifications that we mentioned in 1 Timothy and Titus, you feel like somebody is really exuding what that says, and has just been doing a great job of leading in their different areas at Public Church, and you feel like they would be a good person to serve on the elder team, again, feel free to recommend that person. You can email Jade at publicchurch.com. We again have people that we are considering currently, and we would love to maybe consider the people that you have for us as well. So just as you talk amongst your community groups, maybe think about that. Maybe think about people again who fit the role that might be good for us in this leadership position in the future as well.
It's awesome, guys. It's been fun.
Very good.
And this is just an example, like this video is better because there's 3 of us rather than there's one, and leading is better when we are together. Yeah. And so love you guys. Hey, love y'all, and hope your conversations about this are really good.